Here's a really good question. Hoggendale, do you think Bitcoin could actually work as a dominant medium of exchange in a far future where nobody will want to part with it, especially as AI and robots produce everything you need for cheap?
I got to think about this one here.
I'll take a stab at it first. I think that what we need to realize right now is like when you think about like buying things with Sats or zapping people on Noster or sending Sats to a show like this, like yeah, it seems like a lot, especially if you play this thing out like 100 years from now and think about how valuable those Sats are at that point. But like today, we can still buy and sell them with dollars for the dollar amount. So I think that the only thing that's going to happen here is, yes, I think that Bitcoin is going to be a store of value without a doubt. But in terms of a medium of exchange, I kind of see this going two different ways. I think that there's going to be a lot of people who kind of go down this fiat path, like kind of the existing system that we have for a very long time until it pretty much, they don't have a choice but to come over here. Meanwhile, Bitcoiners who have the sats, have the purchasing power right now, will continue to buy and sell and transact with each other using those sats. So I think that there's going to be kind of a split here in the world. It's already happening. Like we're kind of part of it right now. And I think that, the ability to transact privately to anybody else in the world is a pretty big idea and a pretty big deal. So those who are in that world, I think, will continue to buy and sell as a medium exchange using Bitcoin, while countries, banks, and these public companies use it as a store of value. As long as the sats are flying between each other, that's good. That's staying with the individual. It's not being sold to the exchanges for fiat, where that goes into the BlackRocks and the countries and stuff like that. So I do think that it will. I don't know what it looks like in 100 years. It's impossible to tell, but that's kind of like the short term, my take on it.
I think it's going to take a while for Bitcoin to be used as a medium of exchange. There's a lot of people that say, oh, Bitcoin's failed because you can't use it as a medium of exchange. Everyone wants to hoard it. I think that's just where we're at right now as we're building it as a store of value. I think how it eventually looks, and I don't know when this happens, but there will be more people not accepting fiat because they don't want it. They would trade it for Bitcoin anyway, and that's what they probably used to do, but they only accept Bitcoin. So I think medium of exchange happens when people demand Bitcoin as payment. I don't think it's going to be so much voluntary. And then it's like you have no other choice, right? Like you have no choice but to spend your Bitcoin because that's all you have, and that's what other people want anyway.
I think there's always going to be services that we're going to need humans for. Robots can only do a certain amount of things. We probably still need to, let's say, for example, if we want to go on vacations, we're probably still going to need people to do a lot of the things that we go on vacation for, right? A bartender, you're probably not going to want a robot bartender. There's probably going to be other things that, I mean, there are things, of course, that you need that you're going to have robots for. But let's say, for example, doctors, nurses, healthcare workers are definitely going to have to be, at least part of them are going to have to be humans. I don't think I don't think robots will work for that. Also, I think the other thing, the other way to look at this is people won't want to give away their Bitcoin until the return on it drops below a certain level. So at some point when the world is on a Bitcoin standard, it's not like it's going to keep growing at 50% per year. The only reason why it's getting a 50% return per year is that it's still being adopted. 99% of the world has none. We need to get those people to accumulate Bitcoin before it can be that medium of exchange that's accepted globally. But the people who've held Bitcoin for a while, they're already seeing the medium of exchange phase. They're already in it.
Mm-hmm. Agreed.
Yeah.
That's what I was going to say too, is like, if you're holding Bitcoin right now, just imagine a world where there's AI agents hiring AI agents, and they're doing all the work that we don't want to do anymore. And those AI agents are only accepting Bitcoin because they can't go into a bank and verify themselves, their identity. They're only going to have one choice to accept, and that's going to be Bitcoin. So if you have any amount of sats right now, think about the leverage that you're going to have in the future for yourself, for your family, for your business, because you're going to be able to hire all these bots for a very cheap, in your mind, that you got them for way, whereas everybody else is going to have to get the same amount of sats, but they're going to have to pay a lot more of their dollars for it or whatever is accepted at that time.
Thanks for watching. Hope you guys enjoyed. If you wanted to support this channel, the best way to do so is by becoming a member. You get access to replays of my live streams, exclusive members only content. Also, you can support this show by checking out the sponsors, all linked below. Bitcoin Well, which offers non-custodial Bitcoin, which means you send them money, they send you Bitcoin directly with the lowest spread in Canada and the US. They have non-KYC options available. And if you use my link in the description, you'll actually get some free bonus Bitcoin. And of course, Stampseed, the best possible way, in my opinion, to store your generational wealth and your seed phrase, which is this small little titanium plate that is easy to conceal, fireproof, crush proof. You can throw anything at it, it'll weather it, and you can stamp your seed with their kit, and you can actually get 15% off of that kit by using my code BTC not crypto 15. Thanks again.